are hearing that during that strategic pause that I just mentioned, up near Chernobyl, in this area here, the columns of Russian tanks and heavy military equipment, that they are actually forming for a final push into Kyiv up in this area. Again, this is not a very big distance. They can cover that in a short period of time if they turn it on. In the city of Kharkiv, which is the second most populous city in Ukraine, Russian forces were supposed to have routed that area. They've also stalled there as well. We saw some Russian military vehicles that have been destroyed. They suffered casualties in that area. Down here in Crimea, in the city of Kherson, they've also stalled here instead of taking over the city. Mariupol is completely surrounded, and the Russians have not proceeded west off of the Donbass as yet, and there is some thought from analysts that what the Russians may do is try to surround the Ukrainian forces that are here on this front and to pin them down so that they cannot be redeployed to help the more populated cities. Something else that we should be keeping a look at over the next 24 to 48 hours. We've been talking this evening a lot about the resupply lines. Well, where would that be coming from? If you see Poland over toward the west, as well as Romania, keep an eye on activity in this area and coming up through here. Those would likely be the way that the Ukrainians would be resupplied by the West. We're talking about those hundreds of millions of dollars in repositioned military equipment from the U.S., from the EU, needs to get in there somehow. Most likely areas would be through these two countries, and these areas, this is less populated areas, and you can see the Russians have not been really been focusing on the western part. So when they say we've got to get this stuff to the border so that the Ukrainians can get the equipment, can get resupplied, that's going to happen potentially right along here. So again, as we see the next 24 to 48 hours, we could be seeing this go from being a ground war, which Putin is admittedly, we're hearing, is frustrated about because they haven't been advancing as fast as they want, to an air war. And keep an eye again on this area here, because we have a lot of activity coming out of Belarus to make a final push into Kyiv, which is now surrounded. So that's where we are at the moment. Allison, I'm going to toss it back to you.